ultimate structure that would ensure freedom for the world. In a religious structure, we look toward the ultimate redemption and the ultimate repair of the world. And metaphorically speaking, and in the words of Isaiah, it's when we beat our swords into plowshares and our spears into pruning forks. It's when nation will not take up sword against nation, and no longer will we learn the ways of war. It's when the lion lies down with the lamb. And if you happen to notice, the perspective from our grand staircase only gives us one view at a time. We can choose to look back at the burned out shell of a smallpox hospital, or we can choose to look forward to the UN and the endless possibilities that are the sea. Now, the UN, like all human endeavors, even with the noblest of aims, we know is flawed. But art that strives to hold both the human and the divine in one breath is the vehicle that often comes closest to getting it right. Now, Rockwell, hang on. Rockwell, his art of the four freedoms reflect the same tension between freedom and responsibility. Now they're in order. Sorry, they're kind of small. His freedom from want painting may feature a Thanksgiving dinner of plenty, but if you take a closer look, it reveals a frail couple still in their home, surrounded by their supportive family. And rather than feeling alone and untethered, the painting creates a safety net that everyone has a place at the table. We have a saying in the preamble, it's provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare. In Jewish, we say, Kol Israel Aravim Ze Lazeh, which means we are all responsible for one another. And that includes the next generation and the poor. It's all part of the covenant we share. That neither Rockwell's picture or our society nor the UN reflects the reality is absolutely not the point. What is the point is that it should still be what we aspire to. Now, Rockwell's worshiping painting, those worshipers are diverse for his day, their color and their sacred prayer accessories. I like to imagine that the blank space toward the top is the worshiper whose feet were praying, as Heschel described in his religious expression in the 1968 Alabama Civil Rights March. But he paints the truth that unless we all assume responsibility for ensuring the other's right to worship freely, then we ourselves lose the security and the freedom of being able to do so ourselves. Now, I don't know about you, but I run the other way. The minute I hear somebody tell me that they know what God's word means as a preamble to telling me that they can make all the rules. And in the preamble, it's one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And in Jewish, it's Elu ve'elu, divrei Elohim chayim, these and these are the words of the living God. Now, of course, in FDR's day, 1941 was certainly a fearful time. Like today, the world was afraid, at war, and barely out of a profound financial crisis. And Rockwell's painting captures this fear. But fear for the next generation and for the direction that the world is going isn't really such a bad thing. We should be afraid. The fact is that every generation has good reason to fear. But as Roosevelt also said, all we have to fear is fear itself. So if you really think about it, what FDR was reminding us is that it's not fear itself that is so bad. We'll never eradicate fear. It's primal, and it's a necessary survival instinct. It's a force of nature. But the freedom from fear that we seek is the freedom from paralysis, lethargy, or indifference that would prevent us from doing the right thing. And in the preamble, it's for ourselves and our posterity. And in Jewish, it's you're not responsible for completing the job, but neither may you desist from beginning it. But today, with our political candidates' untrue statements logging well into the double digits, it's Rockwell's freedom of speech painting that demands a closer look. First, Rockwell's speech maker's carrying the facts in his pocket, and he's armed with the truth. And he's in public. He's not edited into sound bites or hiding behind gossip or headlines. Each and every day of our lives, like Kahn and Rockwell, we hold the balance between responsibility and freedom. And I can't imagine a more depraved society in which an individual's exercise of freedom negates and blinds him to trample over his responsibilities. A culture that uses an excuse that God gave me these freedoms regardless of the cost of other people will not survive or thrive. Because anytime that my want, my God, my fear, or my speech deprives you of yours, that's an abdication of my responsibility. And it might not be easy or popular, because the mantra of civic responsibility isn't as fashionable as the mantra of individual rights. But really, if you think about it, the truth is that you can't have one without the other. If you think about it, rights and freedoms are only sustained when everybody behaves responsibly. And that is really the only true thing that guarantees our rights. And the ultimate paradox may be that while we're born into freedom, we only really truly achieve it when we're rooted in the notion of responsibility for the other. It's only by living responsibly that we can enjoy our freedoms. And we are free to choose. In fact, our life is our choice. Our lives are our choices. Because remember, the Bill of Rights come only after and as an addendum to our Constitution, and it all flows from the preamble, which starts with the responsibility of we the people. Now, we build monuments and parks to create snapshots of an ideal. And I can't think of a more blessed gift to our island than a place to return and remind us of these ideals and their origins. And so may it be that we're inspired by and we return to this beautiful and noble park and these beautiful and noble ideals. And let it be that we dedicate our new monument to these aspirations today and every day. And I thank you, and I hope to see you later at our church.